everybody to know that it was a mistake. We are hoping to demolish that building, and the director thought that removing the asbestos wouldn't be a problem. I have met with AD. The man came down and looked at the building from ADM, and I talked to him on site, and then he said, when I get back to Montgomery, I'll call you. So every time we get a complaint, we have to come to the site. And so he came to the site, looked at it, went back to Montgomery, called me and said everything was done according to the law. And so we felt like that everything has been done. So I'd be glad to answer any questions, but it was a mistake. It probably won't be our last mistake we've made. Probably won't be our first. I don't know where the other mistakes are. But sometimes that you make a mistake and you got to go back and try to correct it.
You said a mistake, Mr. Mayor. Seems like they made a whole lot of mistakes on this one, not just a mistake.
What is a lot of?
Well, I mean, and I was there the day after the asbestos was removed. From what I understand, is that the people who removed the asbestos really didn't have the proper authority to do what they said that they did. I understand that they did it when I talked to the lady in one of those front apartments. The door was wide open, and I suppose the dust was flying everywhere. And the guys across the street said they really didn't seem like they were professional in what they were doing. There are over 1,000 law firms across this country foaming at the mouth, waiting to lock their jaws onto some issue like this. I think this is a very serious issue that we have to deal with.
Sure.
And I can't understand, honestly, I can't understand why anybody would push and do that, especially someone who has input in this commission to go ahead and make that kind of move without anything proper being done. That's what I see in this matter. I think it's a very serious issue. I think the Five Star Credit Union, the DDRA, and Houston County are in serious jeopardy on this particular issue. And people are already talking about it. And I just don't want to see us get out here and jeopardize these wonderful institutions with something that's wild and woolly. I mean, it was almost like a loose cannon being turned loose up there. I mean, just went in there. I mean, that's the last of the palatial homes on North Foster Street. I used to deliver Hadacol to that house at 507. There were homes on both sides of Foster, all the way from downtown, and beautiful homes. Every one of them have been torn down. There's nothing there except this one left. Now they want to tear that down. And so the issue is
that we're not talking about.
I understand, Todd. I understand that this is not to demolish. What we're talking about here is an after-the-fact certificate of appropriateness. That's what we're talking about.
For the removal of asbestos.
For the removal of the asbestos.
And that's going to have to happen one way or the other, whether it's from the remodel or whatever. But
well, I just want to give my opinion. I think that it should not be given the abatement. I don't think we should do it. I think we would jeopardize ourselves if we did it. I think this is a very serious issue that nobody's paying much attention to. It's not just something that you can just do and get back. You got all kind of other things involved here. This is a very, very serious issue. And for us to just take it casually, as if nothing has happened, and I'm telling you, people are waiting in the wings to map on us for what has happened here. I just, and I don't want to take up all the time talking because I certainly want our members to say what they believe or what they think. But I certainly don't believe that we should give them this after the fact of date. I just don't believe it.
I have a question. When we ended the last time, they were supposed to provide documentation. Did we ever receive any of that?
That is included with your report. There is
That was all of it?
on page 4,
Yeah.
the report from ADM concerning the removal of the asbestos.
Can I address that for a moment? That is not a report from ADM.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That is an application to ADM from the contractor. We hear a great deal about how this was a courtesy. He has circled courtesy at the top of the form. But if you look at the back of one of these forms, it says, first of all, you have to submit it 10 working days before you do the work. The form was signed on Friday, the work was done on Tuesday, which means there was no time for the state to vet the project, the contractor, or anything else. As far as it being a courtesy, it can be a courtesy if it doesn't meet certain requirements. One of those is if you're going to burn it for training. They weren't going to burn it for training. Another is if you're going to remove more than 160 square feet. It says on the front he's going to be removing 700 square feet. There's the issue of whether it's friable or not. Friable means will it crush in a powder with your hand. There's a question about that. You determine that from a lab. You have to send someone with special certification out to the site to take a sample. They then have to take it back to a certified lab, where a certified technician, all these people have to be specially trained and certified, will do a test on it, tell you what kind of asbestos it is, if there's any asbestos at all. Maybe there wasn't any asbestos. There's 6 different kinds. Once you know what kind it is, what the concentration is, then you know how to prepare the site. Generally, sites are prepared with contamination chambers and people in hazmat suits and that sort of thing for even indoor work, because the EPA says there is no safe level of EPA. It will kill you. It might take 40 years, which is why all these law firms stay in business, but there is no safe level. Here we are ripping off asbestos on the exterior with no protection for the workers, the inhabitants of the property, and it was occupied at the time. People walking by, even people with their windows open, would be subject to the asbestos fibers floating in the air. He says that it is a demolition. He circles that. Now, a demolition must be filed for whether there's any asbestos there or not. We don't know whether there was because we haven't seen a lab report. He says that it was tested. He gives the method of testing as a PLM, which is a polarized light microscope. That's what they use in the lab. Did he use it himself? I don't know whether he's certified to do that. I don't know that he's certified to do anything because he didn't fill in the blank where he's asked to fill in his certification number for the state. There's no mention at the top either of his federal number where he's trained by EPA. That's also left blank. So we didn't know whether the contractor knows anything about this. We don't know whether he didn't understand that it wasn't a courtesy. We don't know whether he didn't understand that he had to do it 10 work days in advance. We don't know that he understands what a PLM is and that he has to do a lab test. Nothing, as Mr. Vaughn says, seems to have been done correctly with this process. It seems quite a rush to judgment. I think I read in the newspaper that the DERA executive director said there was no rush on this. Let's take a lot of time and do it right. It seems that didn't happen.
May I say something?
Right ahead.
Can I say something about the people that took it off?
You go ahead.
They're the Alabama Environmental Incorporated. Some of the things they've done, and one in Tuscaloosa, St. James Apartment. They did the University of Alabama Rose Building. They have done University of Alabama Ferguson Center. They've gone back and done the University of Alabama Ferguson Center a second time for a different thing. They have done Parklow Hospital, and of course they're the ones that did Saints Apartments. The fellow from ADM said they are highly qualified to take care of this, and they knew what they were doing. And I'm just quoting him. I mean, that's all I can do. I can't.
Possibly other people did those than the people they sent to do ours?
Do what?
Possibly other people sent those than the people they sent to do ours? Our people didn't even seem to know how to fill out the form.
Well, everybody has their own opinion, I guess.
I don't think it's an opinion that a 10-day workday doesn't run from Friday to Tuesday, or that a requirement to file, if you're going to demolish, circle around the words, is a demolition, means that this is a courtesy filing. I mean, nothing matches up on that form. And in the application, it's not even identified as an application form. It's identified as a report coming from the state. We don't know that the state ever responded to this. Nobody's ever shown us a form from the state saying, yes, we approve the removal.
That gets back to my question, because I didn't think this was the report, and so.
It's absolutely not the report.
It's a one page or two.
Well, the
it's
back
just
of
not
the
a
form has
report.
instructions.
I've looked at a lot of reports, and that's why I was asking.
No, it's an application. It's an incomplete application with errors in it that has not been responded to in writing by the state to the best of our knowledge.
Again, we